It can be hard talking about something personal, something you're passionate about. The thought of sharing something so important to your life is scary. The thought of being judged is always in the back of your mind, and you're always second-guessing yourself on if you're doing a good enough job of conveying how important this thing is to you, or even just sharing how amazing you think it really is. That thing is personal to you, so chances are others probably won't enjoy it like you do. But I wanted to share something special to me, something dear to my heart. Dragon Quest VIII: Journey of the Cursed King. Even saying it's my favorite game seems like a disservice, because it feels like more than that to me. It feels like family in a weird way. Maybe some of you feel this way with a movie or a streamer, maybe a book or a song you have on repeat. Life just feels a little more magical when you have that one little thing in your life. For me, that thing is Dragon Quest VIII. I have this nostalgia for it since I got it for Christmas somewhere around the age of 5. It's been there for me most of my life. This game taught me about loss and struggle and how important friends are. It taught me to be determined, compassionate. And I think this game set me on the path to be the best person I can be. Now, this video isn't meant to be a synopsis or even a review of Dragon Quest VIII, but just a personal story. A story of how this game shaped me. And I'll be working on a more in-depth review of this game later on if you're interested, but I'm using it as an example of how storytelling, music, characters, all these little things can change your life given the right circumstances, and how this game changed my life. Just so we're on the same page, I'm going to do a very brief summary of the story. There are spoilers ahead, just a fair warning. Dolmagus, a magician lusting for power, seeks out a magical scepter against the will of his master.
That's it. That's the answer. If I only had that scepter, I could wield any magic I wanted.
Upon obtaining it, he curses Trodain, the kingdom it was held in, along with all of its inhabitants. And now you, the hero, are on a quest with the king to undo this curse and put a stop to Dolmagus. Along the way, you meet companions who join you, whether it be out of debt,
I really owe you.
revenge,
You killed my brother. Now you'll suffer the same fate.
or just a lack of anything else better to do.
I hope you don't mind me coming along.
You travel together to save the world. As a kid, a lot of things can seem very black and white, all good or all bad. This was my first exposure to nuance in storytelling. Your first companion, Yengus,
The legendary bandit himself.
was a thief.
Time to cough up. You have to pay if you want to cross my bridge.
A criminal looked down on by anyone and everyone around him. But you don't see him that way through the perspective of the story. He's selfless, putting his friends' lives before his own.
But this ain't just about me now. I can't leave without the horse. It's for the gov.
He's sentimental, opening up about himself to others in the party.
The story of how me and the gov fell in together is an epic tale, full of laughter, thrills and tears.
As a young boy, and now as a young man, it can be hard to open up about emotions. It's almost frowned upon by a lot of society. So many men grow up closed off from sharing your emotions with anyone. But Yengus, at one point in this story, this strong, burly man gets on his knees, sobbing, and begs to get back the kidnapped princess.
Look, do what you want with me, but I'm begging you, give the horse back.
Hey?
Why would he do this? He throws away his bravado, so now he can finally have a chance at atoning for his past actions and do something right with his life, to be a better man and help someone other than himself. He didn't let his past actions define him. He didn't need to grow as a person, but he chose to, and not for himself, but for others. Not everyone is a hero and can save the world, but every day you have a chance to do better, to be better than the day before. It wasn't Yangis's fault that the princess got kidnapped either. And though he's not the hero of the story, he does the most heroic thing anyone can do. He becomes selfless. Though it hurt him emotionally, he did what he had to do for the good of his friends. And he isn't mocked by doing this. He actually gains the respect of someone who thought very little of him throughout most of this story. Now, this isn't to say you need to be selfless, get on your knees and cry to be a good person. No, this is just how this character shaped me. Everyone is unique and has different things, or people, that shape them into the person they are or the person that they will become. But a little selflessness can go a long way. And though you may not want to, although it may hurt, opening up, being honest, and letting go of your ego, all of those things can go a long way in being able to be your most authentic self. But what happens if there's nobody around to be inspired by? If you put yourself above others and not the other way around? Let's look at the villain of the story, Dolmagus. We find out later on why this man had such a skewed vision of life, why he valued power so much. Dolmagus was a lowly jester, laughed at for most of his life, but he had a passion for something, magic.
What little magic I do know, I've had to teach myself.
He wanted to be a magician, so he sought out a great magician, Rylus. But through most of his time spent as his apprentice, he was stuck doing house chores.
How many years has it been now? How many years spent scrubbing floors and dusting shelves? Is this truly what it is to be a sage's apprentice?
Told he wasn't ready for magic. He had the drive to learn, so he did what he had to do and taught himself, though that was against the guidance of his master.
I have warned you about reading my grimoires without prior permission, have I not?
He just wanted to be recognized for more than he was. He had great potential, but nobody gave him a chance, not even his teacher. In one of his self-study sessions, he finds a tale of a scepter with tremendous power, and this is when he's caught by Rylus, yelled at for going against his teachings and studying magic on his own. That's when Dolmagus storms off for the scepter, for power. All since nobody recognized his potential, nobody gave him a chance.
And yet you cannot even follow that one simple rule. Bah, I'd be better off with a dog as an apprentice. At least it would obey me.
The only way he would be recognized is by having power. And then after cursing Trodain, becoming possessed by the scepter, he returns to Rylus. Rylus recognizes his mistake, apologizing for not believing in Dolmagus.
Anyway, I owe you an apology. I should not have spoken to you the way I did. Your failings as an apprentice are mine as a master.
But it was far too late for that. Because of being neglected his whole life, the only thing giving Dolmagus' life purpose was power. So Dolmagus murders Rylus and goes after the sages to gain further power. But why did this happen? Dolmagus starts off the story at a much better place than that of Yangus, a thief. But Yangus had one thing Dolmagus didn't, that made all the difference. He had sympathy from another. The only reason Yangus even changes his ways is because of you, the main character. Even that starts off with him trying to rob you, but you gave him compassion. You had the chance to walk away and let this scumbag fall to his death. But you saved him.
What are you doing? But he attacked us. Why the devil are you helping him?
And you didn't do this expecting anything in return. And he wasn't nice to you, he was quite the opposite in fact, so that's not why you did it, but despite all those things, you saved his life. Now, you're not going to be saving a life by picking up your trash off the ground, or by being nice to your classmates and coworkers. But it's those selfless acts that inspire those around you and make the world a better place. And some people think quote-unquote bad people or criminals are worthless, that they're better off dead or rotting in a jail cell until they end up dying anyway. But I like to believe there's a good person in everybody. That kid who bullied you in school could turn out to be a murderer, or he could end up being your best friend, regretting what he did to you earlier in his life. We are shaped by those around us. So I encourage everyone watching this video to be the best person you can be every single day. Use your strengths to inspire others. Continue the cycle of inspiration and love, because when it's all said and done, and we're 6 feet under, what we leave this earth with is how we shaped others. Our legacy. Life is finite, limited, but why don't we make it the best it can be for everyone while we're still here? Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. A little more serious and melodramatic than everything else on the channel, but I hope I did it well enough for you guys to enjoy it. I'm planning on doing more on Dragon Quest VIII. If I do a full review, it might be close to an hour. I'm afraid some of you may not like that. I know I probably wouldn't like to watch an hour-long video about a game I haven't played, so let me know if you would like that, or I was also thinking doing 10 to 20 minute videos sort of like this on different parts of the game, maybe the music or different parts of the story that I thought were a little more impactful than others. So yeah, let me know if either of those ideas interest you, and leave any comments on your personal stories about video games that shaped you as a kid, that make you want to be a better person. Be nice to each other down there in the comments. Yeah, any feedback would be appreciated. Thank you for watching.